Hey guys, it's me, Cassidy Quinn. Happy Monday, happy Mental Monday. This Mental Monday is going to be a little different than all the past Mental Mondays we've done, but maybe it will be how we do some of them in the future. As you guys are watching this, see, I'm still not editing it, it's just not live, okay? As you guys are watching this, Tucker and I are on my very first ever backpacking trip. We mentioned it last week in Mental Monday. We prepped for it in the video you have hopefully watched here on this channel. Of course, click to my channel if you haven't watched that yet. We had to do a lot of prepping because, like I said, I have never been backpacking, and as far as I know, I mean, I'm recording this before we have left for the trip, so as far as I know, backpacking is basically camping plus hiking, and so you have to carry all of your stuff for all of the days you're going to be out there on your body. Over to the left of me on the couch is just a whole spread of all of our foods that we bought so far. Tucker is going to the grocery store tonight. We are leaving tomorrow. But again, by the time you're seeing this, we're already there. But I didn't want to miss you guys for Mental Monday, although I will miss you while I'm out in the rainforest backpacking and wishing you could show up and make me a nice warm meal. Just kidding. Will be great. I'm very excited. But this trip and prepping for this trip is what I want to talk about for Mental Monday, because sometimes you just have realizations about yourself and you go, oh, why have I been doing it this way for all of time, and why does my brain do this? As you guys know, I struggle with anxiety and depression. I don't know, last night I fell down a rabbit hole on the internet. I somehow found myself in the middle of ADHD Twitter, and started seeing a lot of symptoms of that in myself. I don't know, I spent a lot of hours just looking it up last night. We will see. It's Mental Monday, that's where we can talk about these things, right? Even if we don't know what's going on with our brain fully yet. But a couple of days ago, but yeah, I have anxiety and depression, which means my brain can, like, overthink and stress out about things that it doesn't necessarily need to stress out about. I mean, it feels it needs to, so it does, and that's okay. I love my brain, but at the same time, it's just not necessary to stress out about some of the things that my brain stresses out about to such a high level. For example, a couple of days ago, Tucker was like, oh, okay, we're going to start a Google Doc of all of the meals we're going to have for this backpacking trip. I don't know if you guys know this about me, but I don't eat meat. I eat seafood. But other than that, I'm mostly vegan. So I'm what do they call it? A pesca vegan? I don't know. There's some kind of thing people say. But basically a dairy-free pescatarian. So I eat seafood, but I don't really do dairy except for the occasional, like, oh, that mac and cheese looks really good and they don't have a vegan option. I'll eat it today, and then my stomach hurts, and I'm sad. Anyway, Tucker, however, loves all of the meats, and isn't allergic to anything. I have a lot of food allergies. I'm allergic to sulfites, which means I'm allergic to soy and onions are two of the biggest things. Not biggest that I care about the most, but biggest because they're so annoying because they pop up in everything. So, as you can imagine, when you start looking for what kind of foods can I bring into the wilderness to be able to cook only on a jet boil that we just purchased for lots of future adventures. You can't, we have one dish, one pot that we'll cook it in. You have to be able to carry it all on your backpack. So you're not like making things from scratch that we would normally be making at home. You also can't just like order Postmates or something in the middle of the rainforest. I don't think. Just kidding. But so I started Googling a lot of like what to eat, like vegan backpacking meals, whatever, like, because we eat a lot of, when we go hiking and stuff, we bring pre-seasoned packets of tuna, and then we bring some bread or some tortillas, and then there you go. There's a sandwich, a tuna sandwich or a tuna wrap for lunch. Easy peasy. However, I don't like to have the same thing all the time, which is, I know, my problem, and it's not a big problem. Like, I could just eat a tuna sandwich every day, but I don't want to eat a tuna sandwich every day for lunch on this trip and then also have a tuna sandwich for dinner, So I knew I needed some more options. But I kept finding on these blogs of other people that have gone backpacking and what meals they brought. they would suggest these pre-packaged meals that you just buy in a little packet, and then you add water to it, cook it on your camp stove, and there you have it. But as I started to look all those up, a lot of them had onions in them, or soy in them, or any of the bajillion things I'm allergic to, and my brain just started to ramp up. I could feel my heart starting to beat faster, my head was spinning, and Tucker was working at his desk like 5 feet away from me. And I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna eat. Like, next thing I know, I am on the verge of tears because I cannot find things to eat. This is not a crisis. I am fine. I am safe. I am healthy, but my body and my brain are reacting as if something has gone very wrong. I took some deep breaths. Tucker had to keep working, so he couldn't really, like, pay attention to me, which was good because I just could, like, sort it out myself in a minute. And I just kept going on the internet, and eventually I did find 2 meals. That's 4. 2 meals that I could have. So I got 2 of those, and then we're gonna do ramen the other 2 nights, because we're gonna be there for 4 nights, and we're just gonna buy some, like, top ramen noodles, and then we have this ramen seasoning that I can mostly have. There's just, like, one thing in it that I'm allergic to, so hopefully I don't feel like crap in the middle of the rainforest. I will probably crap in the middle of the rainforest. Just kidding. 70 feet off the trail, in case you're wondering. That's what you're supposed to do. Take 70 steps off of the trail, dig a hole 8 inches into the ground, put your poop in there, bury it. Bet you didn't think you'd be learning that on Mental Monday, huh? Is that what I should title this video? How to poop in the rainforest. With me, Cassidy Quinn, woman who's done it like 1 time. Well, never in the rainforest. Never. Check in with me next week, see how it went on Mental Monday. Where am I going with this? Point is, Tucker then pointed out to me after this minor freak out, then later in the day when I was explaining to him what all had gone on in my mind in those few short moments so rapidly, he said, this happens to you a lot. A lot of times before we go on a trip, you're all pumped up about it. You're ready. You're totally on board. And then the day before or a couple days before, whenever it gets down to the actual planning of the nitty-gritty, all of the details getting organized, you kind of freak out. And all of a sudden I started thinking back to our recent adventures. We did an avalanche training course called AIRI, which we have not posted the video yet, but we took a lot of awesome video from that. That was back in February. And one of the mornings before the class, I had a total anxiety attack. It was on the verge of a panic attack on our way to the course, to the extent that I almost didn't go with Tucker that day for this awesome adventure that we had paid for. We were going backcountry skiing or ski touring to learn how to safely be in avalanche territory, and if you end up in an avalanche, then knowing how to respond and knowing your gear and how to find people if it ever happens, knock on wood. Like, it was a big day, but we were on our way there, and I just couldn't handle it. I was crying, I was sad, I was anxious, I was stressed, I was all of the emotions all at once. And of course, Tucker was very accepting. If I had just said, I don't want to do this. I'm going to take the car for the day. You go do that. I'll pick you up later. He would have been okay with that. He wouldn't have judged me. But luckily, I had enough time. We hugged it out. I just had to get the crying out of my system. And then we talked about the details. Like, what do we actually have to do right now? Oh, because one of the things that was stressing me out, I forgot about this. It seems so stupid in retrospect, but this is how my brain works, okay? My GoPro was full of memory, and I had been taking videos throughout the whole weekend of this course, and I didn't want to delete them because I hadn't backed them up, so I was trying to back them up because my SD card was like having issues, the other one I had, so I had to use this one that was full, so I was trying to back them up on the cloud, but then my Wi-Fi, or my internet service was bad. Anyway, it got to me. It really got to me. The fact that I could not back up my GoPro video and that I might not be able to take as much video as I want that day on my GoPro. Yep, it definitely sounds ridiculous in retrospect, but I accept my brain and I love my brain and we got through it. Eventually I made it. But yeah, so we talked it out, made like a visual in our brains, mental to-do list of like, okay, what do we actually have to do? What do I actually have to do right now to get started with this day? What is the first step? The first step is get dressed, get all the stuff on that I need. Second step is get my camera, my phone, whatever I have in my pockets. Okay, third step is go and meet the group. We were the last ones at the group. I think people maybe were a little annoyed that we took a few extra minutes getting ready. But if they had only known what was happening in my brain at that moment, I think hopefully they would have been okay with it. So we got through it. And I got through the food emergency, the food crisis of 2020 pre-backpacking a couple of days ago. And we're gonna get through this trip. Hopefully, by the time you guys are watching this on Monday, we are halfway through our journey through the rainforest. And I haven't had any meltdowns, but it is very much a possibility that I will have a meltdown. And that has to be okay. I have to be prepared for it. I have to know what to do to get myself through that. And as we go on more and more of these adventures that are kind of high stakes, I mean, we're not going anywhere super crazy right now. Like, we are staying out of, when we're doing our ski adventures and snowboard adventures, we are, for the most part, staying out of avalanche territory. We're in the middle of summer, so there's not really enough snow in most places for an avalanche to occur. And then right now we're backpacking, and from what I've read about it, it's 32 miles round trip, 17 in, 17 in, 17 out, and the first like 12 in and out are pretty flat, and the last 5 you're hiking up a glacier field and it gets steep. And there might be a time when we get to that steep part. Apparently there's like a wooden rung ladder that you have to climb up, like holding onto the rope, and what I was reading people's trail reviews from recent weeks is some of the rungs are missing, so it's a little sketchy, but like, we will be there together. It will be me and Tucker. We will get through it. We will be safe. We will be extra cautious. It will be okay. So we're not doing anything that's out of my skill level, that's unsafe for me in any way. So that's what I have to keep remembering. It's like, I am prepared. My body is prepared. By the time we get there, all of my gear will be prepared. We will be ready to go. And that, once I get through that point, I feel good about it. But it's getting through that whole organization part of it when it seems, when I guess it's that I don't know where to start, and I don't know the first step. And if I just focus on the first step, that's okay. But if I focus on like, oh my God, in 2 days I have to be ready to go backpacking for 4 days and have all this gear and all this food, and what are we gonna eat? And what if I forget something? And what if my pants are wet? How do I dry my pants? Like, there are all these thoughts in my brain, and really I can only, as long as I go into it as prepared as I possibly can be, then I just deal with those things as they come up. I've been stressing about the weather. It's the rainforest, so it could be very rainy. That's just what we deal with when we get there. We're not going into super, like, it's the middle of the summer. We're not going into winter territory. Wow, my hands are like glowing when I put them there. Whoa! Getting very distracted. It's not gonna be snowing. We're not gonna be slipping on ice. Like, it is the middle of summer. It is my birthday week. I'm gonna have fun. It is low stakes, low risk for the most part. And the point is to have fun and unplug. So hopefully I can do that with my brain. Like I said, once I get there, I'm usually okay. It's just this weird, like, in-between space between, yeah, ready for the trip, psyched, oh my gosh, looking forward to it, and then, oh, it's actually happening, oh my God, how are we gonna do this? And then, yeah, we're there. So I just, I gotta flatten the curve of my own brain. Oh, too soon? Come on, America, we could flatten the curve. We can do it. Anyway, that's also part of what has taken me down this internet hole of looking into ADD and ADHD. That thought of like being so stressed out about the first step and not knowing where to start. So I don't know if any of you, I guess I might as well talk about it. If any of you have ever been diagnosed with ADD or ADHD, I would love to hear from you. Because I'm just doing the whole like, WebMD, not actually WebMD, but just go on Reddit and join the ADHD thread and see how that goes, and hear from people and take notes. And whoops, I was attempting to do this in one take, as if we were actually live, but of course, as usual, my memory card just filled up. So anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me again for this Mental Monday. I'll be back next Monday with a live one. You will see that we have survived our backpacking adventure. I'll let you know if I had any meltdowns along the way. And I love you all. Give this video a thumbs up for taking care of our brains and just learning more about them every single day. And at least I am. I hope you are gonna do something nice for your brain today. Hope you have a wonderful week. And I will see you next time. Oh, also subscribe. Click the little bell so you get notified whenever I'm back. Okay, bye.